Hello everyone, if you're new in this channel, please be very welcome. My name is Varinia Jordan and today guys we're gonna continue with the second part of the video of the cable cars. If you haven't seen the first part, I'm gonna leave the link below so you can go and watch it. Please stay until this video ends and let's get started. In the previous video we had explored the green, yellow, silver, blue and red lines. In each one we talked a little bit about the story of the Teleféricos and the interesting things that you can see along each line. Like for example, in the blue line we talked about the famous buildings called cholets and the 16 de Julio Fair. In the line red we talked about Chualyuma neighborhood and its famous murals. We also talked about the General Cemetery and its famous architecture, and also about some places where you can stop by to eat something, like the Fish Palace where you can eat fresh fish from Titicaca Lake and the delicious homemade ice cream to heal the sorrows of bereaved families. The orange line starts in the X train station. If you want to know more about the story of this train station, you definitely have to watch the first part of this video. I talked about the story and also the cultural stuff that you can see around it. This line goes throughout many important avenues that connect to downtown, like Montes Avenue, a main highway that connects to Autopista Highway, which comes from El Alto city, and Armentia Avenue, where the Riosinio Square is, which is also in front of the Apolinar Jaén Street, one of the most colonial streets in La Paz, in which there are several museums, such as the Gold and Silver Museum, and of course many stories of goblins and ghosts that inhabit this street. If you have time, I recommend you to stay in this Armentia stop to see this and also get to Killi Killi viewpoint, which is closer to this point. I will leave the link below to the video that I made of this beautiful place. Look at the main buildings from downtown, like La Casa Grande del Pueblo, which is the Bolivian government palace of a brutalist architecture and seat of executive power where the president resides and which replaced the Palacio Quemado in 2019. Located in Plaza Murillo, the main square of La Paz City. If you're lucky and pick the right day, you will be also able to admire our majestic Illimani mountain. The pictures that you can take from up here are amazing. Don't forget to take a good camera with you. La Llamita Cemetery, it is the name of this popular cemetery located on Periférica Macro District in the Agua de la Vida Norte. It is considered clandestine because it is not under custody of the municipal government. It is interesting because there are graves from 1974. Another interesting building to see from up here is the Hernando Siles Stadium, one of the 7 highest in South America, with approximately 3,579 meters above sea level. Okay guys, we're about to get to the end of this line, where we will connect after to the white line. The square where these two lines meet, the orange and the white one, is called Plaza Villarruel. It is a large space for recreation and sports for the family. Here we will find green areas, sports courts and children's games, in addition to the Museum of the Revolution. The White Line is one of the most emblematic of the network, since it has 4 different types of stations. The first one is underground, bridge station, another miniature, and a building with elevators. This line begins at the Plaza Villarruel station in Miraflores neighborhood, which is one of the oldest neighborhoods in La Paz City. It continues through the Buch Avenue, which is one of the longest avenues that we have here in La Paz City, and where we can find a lot of monuments and, of course, beautiful new buildings, as you can see along this line, and that are mostly full of apartments. And here it comes, the main monument of this avenue, the monument of Germán Buch Becerra, who was a Bolivian soldier and politician of German descent, a military hero in the Chaco War, a conflict between Bolivia and Paraguay between 1932 and 1935, and later he became president of Bolivia between 1937 and 1939. Another interesting thing to mention here is that we can find the most distinguished wake rooms around this square. There are also flower stores and some parking areas where you can leave your car if you're invited to a funeral. Then we have the Parque Triangular station. This square brings me so many memories because the university where I studied my major degree, it is right there. I remember that I used to go to this square with my friends to eat ceviche, after classes of course, and also raspadillo, a type of handmade ice cream where you could choose your favorite flavor when they were making it for you. This line ends at San Jorge station. On the other hand, the first connection of the light blue line joins the stations of San Jorge and La Curva de Holguín. And if you want to take this last connection from line white to the line light blue that goes to the Curva de Holguín, you're not gonna pay anything. This part of the line was built practically on the Choqueyapu River, which is a river in the Andean region of Bolivia, and it's the main watercourse of La Paz City. On its way, it's highly contaminated with all kinds of waste, sewage, toxic industrial waste, garbage, etc. That is why it gives off unpleasant odors. Fortunately, I recently saw that they are doing bottling or piping work in this part, which is good, partly because of the smells, but the fact of seeing this river for tourists, I think it was something interesting. Okay guys, we are at the intersection with the line white again. This time, instead of going to the south, to La Curva de Holguín, we will go to downtown. I want to talk a bit about all the buildings that were built here. Look how impressive they are, considering that they are practically on the very edge of the cliffs. Wow, even for us, that type of constructions are impressive. There are also 2 important bridges. One is the Puentes Trillizos and the other one is Puente de las Américas, where a lot of people committed suicide and they had to cover it with a steel mesh. Okay guys, we're getting to El Poeta station. In this area, we will see first the parking spot of the Puma Cataris, which is the modern public transportation implemented by the Gobierno Municipal de La Paz. Then you will see the public soccer fields and then the Teatro Municipal al Aire Libre Jaime Laredo, which is an outdoor theater of a capacity of 9,000 people approximately, and it was inaugurated in the 50s and almost completely renovated in 2010. It is located in the Parque Urbano Central, and lots of concerts took and take place here, like rock, cumbia, pop, and national folklore bands. And this is the Parque Urbano Central, where many fairs take place. The most famous are a Las Citas Fair, where artisans sell everything you can imagine in miniature, and the Christmas Fair. I will leave the link to the video that I made about this last fair. Okay, this is the last stop of this line. El Prado station. There are a bunch of places where you can go from this point, like restaurants, coffee shops, etc. But which I would recommend you to go, because this is a must, is to go eat the famous tucumanas del Prado. Nowadays, they are everywhere, even in the south of the city, but the place where are the originals are in Calle Mexico or Mexico Street, which is the parallel avenue to El Prado. You only have to ask where are the stairs, go up to the end till the Coliseo Cerrado Julio Borrelli Viterito, and on your right hand you will find several stores where they sell these delicious tucumanas. Tucumanas is, well, empanada. It's a fried empanada that it could be beef, chicken, or a mix of them. And there are many different sauces to eat with, like avocado, golf, spicy peanut, black olive, our famous llajua, salads, and my favorite, the green sauce, which is made with garlic, parsley, and other species, but it is spicy and super delicious. Okay guys, we are at the purple line or Línea Morada. This line connects La Paz and El Alto cities. It has 3 stations and 190 cabins. The 3 stations of Jalisco, Faro Murillo, and 6 de Marzo started their operation in September 2018. The first station is located between Almirante Ground and Murillo Streets, half a block from Mariscal, Santa Cruz, or El Prado Avenue, in the heart of La Paz City. This station is the gate through which La Paz City is integrated with El Alto City. It has large outdoor areas, generating a large atrium in the center of La Paz. From all my cable car tours, I think this is the line that is mostly crowded at all times, because obviously in the other lines there are the so-called rush hours, which are early in the morning, at lunchtime, and between 6 to 7 p.m. But at the time I went to record this video, and considering that it was Tuesday around 5 p.m., this movement of people seemed interesting to me. The second station, Faro Murillo, is located between Panorámica, Arica, and Cívica avenues. It is the intermediate stop on Silver Line, which comes from the 16 de Julio station. Passengers from the northern area of El Alto City are able to reach La Paz downtown through this line, and it has a distribution hall with a capacity of 1,800 people. I would recommend you to stay at this point for a little bit and go to the Faro Murillo viewpoint. I haven't been there, but I was told that you have an amazing view from up there. The last station is located on 6 de Marzo Avenue, at the corner of Tiwanaku Avenue, 1 kilometer far from La Ceja de El Alto. So it is designed to meet the demand of the inhabitants of the southern part and center of El Alto City. It has nice green places and parking for bikes. For people that do not know about the places that I just mentioned, on the one hand, both 6 de Marzo Street and La Ceja in El Alto City, and on the other hand, Almirante Ground and Murillo Streets in La Paz are considered the central points in both cities, therefore super chaotic and packed of people, who find these points as the easiest to reach both the center of La Paz and the center of El Alto. As you can see in this Faro Murillo stop, the line is divided for a few meters, but it doesn't mean that you have to pay another ticket again. You just need to walk through the entrance to continue your trip. Not only in this line, but also in all the lines that connect La Paz and El Alto cities, you will appreciate the interesting architecture of all the buildings and houses that we have here. And this is basically related to constructions that are either on the cliffs or on the skirts of the city. Between 60 and 70% of the land in La Paz is unstable, which means that most of the inhabitants of the city are at risk of losing their homes. Believe it or not, that's true. The geologist and professor Marco Antonio Guzman explained that La Paz has a high slope and that its soils are young, which means that they are still in the formation process and they have not become rocks yet. For this reason, 70% of the land is vulnerable. Additionally, the soil of the city is furrowed by 300 rivers that are responsible for landslides. In other words, we have to learn to live with these characteristics like Japanese live waiting for an earthquake. The most recent landslide that we had was in April 2019. Look how the houses slide down, considering that they were built with metallic structures. They seemed to be made of beach sand. They melt easily. I took these images from a YouTube video. I will leave the link below so you can go and watch the complete video. But yeah, it was so sad, and mostly because the people who decide to build on unstable land pressure the government to get their layouts approved. And on the other hand, the government washes its hands of these situations and put all the responsibility to people who take over the land, build their houses or buildings without respecting the rules, of course, and then with pressure obtain the legalization of their layouts, services and works that they have done there, trusting that nothing will happen. But as you could see, many things like this could happen. I guess it is time to pass from sad things to happier things, and something that makes me truly happy is eating, guys. And that is what I want to talk about. In almost all the cable car stops, you will find these delicious empanadas called jawitas. This mention is not paid, but I love them so much and I will make a small stop here to buy them. There are empanadas of different flavors. One is cheese, which is the classic, spring, which is ham and cheese, and the spicy empanada. Now that I am happy again with my jawitas in my empanadas, we can continue with the last cable car, the line number 9, which is the brown line. To take this line, we need to go back to Buch Avenue in Miraflores neighborhood, exactly at the point where the Herman Buch monument is. The brown line at the moment is the shortest in the entire network. It has 27 cabins and 2 stations, that is, one on Buch Avenue, which connects with the White Line, and another in Villa San Antonio. It is a small line because it is not finished yet. It has reached halfway. The project must reach Pampajasi neighborhood, basically integrating all the slopes of the northwest of La Paz. This project cost approximately $18 million in its first phase. Less than a kilometer is covered in this line in a time of 4 minutes. The population is using this new service while the second phase of the work is completed. The project starting date is uncertain, as well as it is the 10th line that it will be the Golden Line. As you can see, this is the most quiet and emptiest line. I enjoyed a lot the landscapes and overall the quiet journey. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Don't forget to follow me and activate the notifications bell. I send you many hugs and kisses. Bye!